All right, welcome to Human Movement on this wonderful day. I'm really excited for our routine today. We're gonna do full body mobility. We're gonna do a very common theme for me, which is for a given movement, we're gonna do 10 repetitions. And on a lot of those movements, we're gonna add a 10-second pause on the last rep. Not for all the movements, as we'll see. You'll definitely need a PVC pipe, hockey stick, golf club, broomstick, something like that to do some shoulder stuff later. Let's get going. We'll start off with two basic movements that we've done a lot together. They're good just to kind of get us going and get the blood moving and just feeling good. So let's start off with a regular body weight squat. Feet out at 1 in 11 or 1 in 10 if that's comfortable for your toes. And finding a depth that's comfortable for you. We're not thinking so much of a stretch here as just a little bit of a warm up, getting the knees, ankles, and hips going. And about 6 more reps. We're gonna hold the last rep today, an engaged squat, not a resting, relaxed squat. We're gonna hold that for about 10 seconds with arms up in front or arms overhead if you want. So, starting to think about some breathing here. Take some good deep breaths in and out. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Okay, active squat, so I want a nice, tall, strong, engaged spine. Eyes forward or up a little bit. You can add hands overhead if you want. Hands can be in front if you wish, but feeling that tension burn through the legs a little bit more for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Up right away. We're gonna go right into hinges now and contrast the squat. Let's get pretty narrow. So my feet 10, 12 inches apart, pretty narrow. Knees can be softly bent or a lot bent, up to you. Hinging over a nice flat back, getting a great stretch to the hamstrings. Obviously, if you're very flexible, you'll really need to reach the hips back. If you want to, like we've done in past weeks, you can reach the arms overhead. Think about distancing your fingertips away from your hips as you sit and drive your hips back. And this is, again, we do this stuff a lot. This is more warm up, just getting going before we get to a lot of our joint mobility today. Let's get about 4 more. If we got a couple bonus reps in there, I don't think your body would complain about it. 2 more. And last one, 10-second hold. Whether you want to be bent over just like so, if you want to do what we call a prisoner hold, if you want to maintain the hands for another 5, 4, keep reaching backwards, 3, 2, 1, awesome. Okay, next movement we haven't done for a while. Might be a little bit challenging for some of you. If you need to, I'm gonna show you a regression. It's simply gonna be keeping your torso taller. We're gonna do a standing split squat, which is for our knee, ankle, and hip mobility. You're gonna get nice and long, but if this is limiting for any kind of pain or just inflexibility, you're gonna narrow that back leg and stand really tall for your split squat, and then you're gonna lengthen that back foot over time as able. For me, I'm gonna really slide that back leg backwards. I'm gonna take some gentle few seconds to descend into my forward squat, leaning my body forward, and then pushing backwards and away. Okay, and just like the other movements, we're doing 10. This one will definitely be a little bit spicier. So if you need to take it easy, you need to take a little break, take a break. I'm on 4. And this is 5. This will be a big jump up from the last 2 movements. 6, and again, bring the back leg forwards, be more tall with your torso. Don't lean so far forward. That will make the movement easier and more appropriate for you as needed. Let's do 2 more. I think that was about 8. We're gonna add that 10-second pause. And here we go. Into that 10-second pause now, holding for 10, 9, 8, whatever it might look for you. Could be knee on the floor, could be like this, vertical. For me, a little more forwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice push away. Get the legs a little shake. That one, of course, always will light you up pretty good. Other side, take a few seconds here. Finding your balance, using a chair if you need to. Sliding that backwards leg to a position that you think will be okay. Adjust as you need to. Let's begin. First rep or 2, I kind of hold back a little bit. Can you hear my ankles cracking maybe a little bit? Still kind of prepping and greasing that groove of this specific movement. But now that I'm on 4 and going to 5, body knows what it's doing. I can kind of descend a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, and push the limits a little bit more. Let's get 5 more. Thinking about breathing, little exhale on the way up, little inhale on the way down. 2 more. Last one. Big 10-second pause here. Hang tight. I know it's tough. If you really need to, you can drop that back knee, but try and hold yourself up in the air for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and strong push away. Little shake, shake. Awesome. Okay, I think we're all pretty warm now. We're gonna move to an easier movement, one that looks kind of silly at first glance, but is a huge favorite of mine for hip health. We're gonna do some hip circles or hip rotations. A little bit wider with your feet now than that good morning drill we did. You're gonna push and reach your hips to the side. Hold for a second. Kind of feel what that's like. Keeping your knees mostly straight. You're gonna round the corner. Go into that good morning that we did on our second movement. Round the corner, you should feel some movement, some stretching there. Now push to the other lateral side. Squeeze your glutes now as you press your hips softly forwards and then repeat. Hip out to the side, back, round the corner. Try and feel that stretch change as you round the corner to the lateral, forwards. And now 3 more, a little faster. You're gonna do 5 per direction, excuse me. This would be 4. Glutes are firm at the front. Press to the side, reach backwards, press to the side. Nice, other way. Let's do 2 reps slow and feeling what it's like on this opposite side now. Pressing, reaching hips to the side, trying to be cognizant that your knees are mostly straight. Rounding the corner slowly. Rounding the second corner, pressing outwards, squeezing glutes here. Second slow rep. Rounding corner, hinging now, rounding second corner, lateral push. 3 more reps, a little bit quicker. If the circle's not quite as big, that's okay. And if you're feeling really good now, you're really warmed up, I want you to gently push a little bit more into the forward range. So you're gonna arch with your spine, and you're gonna extend through your hips a little bit more and feel a little bit more of a stretch in the forward tissues of your hips. Be gentle. You don't have to go crazy if you're not used to that. Last one. Nice. That feels good, doesn't it? Looks silly, but feels awesome when you're done. Okay, next one, equally silly. Let's do some knee circles. We're gonna do 2 different types today. For the first one, let's bring your feet really close together. Touching would be very appropriate for a beginner, or just really gentle on your knees. Adding some distance will add some load. Adding more distance adds more load, but this would be a little bit more advanced. So starting around here, if you're newer to this or just not used to knee circles, you're gonna kiss your knees forwards and together. Keep them together as you lean to the side. Softly lock it out behind. Other side, forwards. So very similar in look to the hip rotation, but think about keeping your knees together. And again, if that's a little bit too tough, you can always put your feet together, and you'll note that my ankles are rolling. So they lift off the floor on their lateral and inside edges. That's a good thing. Other direction, because it's that ankle movement that actually allows my knees to express what you see here. This is 2. And if this is tough, you can also be taller. You don't have to bend down so much. 1 more. Nice. Good. Now we're going to do knees again one more time, but we're going to go opposite circles. Okay? So let's get a little bit wider with the feet. Same concept though. Feet closer together is gentler, less load. Wider, more intense. You're going to start to kiss your knees together. They're both going to go forwards, but then on their own, they're going to go outwards. They're going to round the corner. They're going to lock out, straighten your knees, and then gently start to pull them inwards as we go for rep number 2. Again, the ankles are what allow the knee movement. So be loose with the ankles. Let them roll onto the inner and outer edges. Let's do 1 more. Good. Once you get to the middle, other direction. And be soft. I find this one when you're coming inwards and then you're going to lock out the knees, just got to be a little bit more gentle on the knees. So that transition to the straight knees, just a little bit softer. Last one. Nice. Okay, good. Hope you guys are feeling really, really good here. Done a lot of hip work so far. Let's do some direct ankle movement. These will be really gentle ankle rotations. We're going to do about 10 reps per direction. The ankle, shin, and calf should get a little bit of a burn here. You can use a hand here on something for help if you want to. If you want to challenge yourself, you're in bare feet like me, and you're just going to try and stand tall as we do this. I'm going to bring my target leg in the air, about 90 degrees at my hip. I'm just going to gently, not with a lot of tension, gently start to work my ankle in a full rotation, about 10 times. Not holding tension, it's pretty loose. And you can think about tracing a big circle with your toes. And note how my hip and knee are really still. I'm not rotating through my knee like so. It's just through my ankle, other way. And I'm trying to keep this hip still so that I'm mostly targeting my ankle. And if we were to slow this down, it would be pointing, reaching outwards, pulling backwards towards our shin, pointing inwards, and trying to hit those four corners over and over and over again. I think we've done more than 10 reps. Other side. Find your balance. Let's start off a little slower and focus on those corners. Backwards towards the shin, outwards, down, and in. About 8 more. I'm going to go a little slower. I think I was a little bit too eager on the first leg. Feels good. Get a nice little burn in the shin. 2, 1. Other direction. Outwards, back, in, down. Outwards, back, in, down. Again, the ankle's loose, not holding too much tension. Trying to be strong and extending through this supporting hip, the stationary leg. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, guys, legs are feeling really good. Let's start to hit the shoulders. We're going to do a bunch of stuff with our stick today, broomstick, golf club, whatever you have. But let's start off with shoulder shrugs. These ones always make me laugh. I think people think I look like a goof when I do them. But it's kind of like the hip rotations. When we're done our 20 repetitions, shoulder blades are going to feel great. So shoulder blades can go in 4 directions mostly. We can go up, join me. We can go back. We can go down, lengthen the distance from your ear to your shoulder. And we can go forwards. We're going to go 10 smooth circles, kind of the same pace as the ankle rotations we just did, per direction. So let's call this 1. 2, give me some breathing. And don't bastardize the movement. Get up, get back, get down, reach your fingers to the floor, and get forwards. The pace can be smooth, but I want you to ensure that you hit all 4 of those positions. And so you're using a little bit of muscular force there, and you're feeling some tension building as you're pulling through those 4 positions. Note how my elbows are really straight because I'm not using my elbows, okay? And my arms aren't moving. I'm not using my shoulder joint. I'm using my shoulder blade, which is different. Other direction. I think we did 15 or 20 there. Up, forwards now, down, depress, back, up, breathe, and then repeat. And note any kind of sensitivities, pain, or if it just feels great, awesome. Try and relax that neck. We'll do about 3 or 4 more because that's awesome. Love me some shoulder shrugs. Great. Shake that out. We'll go right to our stick, wherever you're using today. Classic movement I do lots. People have done this with me lots. Shoulder flexion, which is going to be bringing our arms overhead. I want your elbows completely straight. I want your belly a little bit tight. I don't want you compensating through your spine. Okay? We're going to do 10 reps up and down. Try and release the stick with as much control as we're going to use on the way up. It's easy just to fall. Okay? That'll make sense once we get going. And then on the last rep, we're going to hold for 10 seconds. And you're really going to try and think about pulling your knuckles backwards behind you to get more shoulder flexion, overhead mobility, without using something else to compensate, because then we're basically doing nothing and just wasting our time. So, hands just outside your hips. Okay, elbows locked. Give me a nice grip on whatever you're using. Harden your belly, harden your butt. Take time as you go overhead. Use some control on the way down. That's 1. 2. It's gonna try and keep my rib cage really neutral here. 3, elbows are locked. I'm gonna reach my hands away from my shoulders. 4, 5, trying to really feel that my stomach is not compensating by arching. 6, or losing too much tension. 7, my spine is nice and solid. 8, pull the knuckles backwards. 9, lower with equal control, and that 10-second pause is now here. Find your honest overhead mobility. Elbows are straight, reach the stick up, and if you can now, for about 6 more seconds, pull knuckles backwards another centimeter or millimeter or 2. Don't use your spine. Hold. We got 5, 4, elbows straight, reach the stick up. 3, 2, 1. Gently relax. Nice. Feels awesome. Shoulder extension, another one we do all the time. Why do we do all the time? Because we want shoulders that can flex and extend for another 80, 90, 70, 60, 50 years, however old you are. Extension raises, wider, super easy, or appropriate for you, narrow, harder. You find what's right for you. Our goal today is shoulder height. So I want you to, again, distance your hands away from your body and keep them distanced as you raise to about shoulder height. That's 1. Join me. And what we're feeling here is that, again, we're not compensating through the spine. We're not jutting the neck forward to kind of find a little bit extra movement. I'm really still everywhere except through my shoulder joint. And this is, again, we call extension. If it's not bad, narrow your hands. If it's too hard, widen your hands. Reach your stick away from the body. Belly and butt are tight. We're going to do 2 more. And on this last one, go a little bit more narrow, and the same cue. Try and pull your knuckles up to the ceiling and over the head. And hold them for 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax that neck. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently, slowly, slowly relax. Great. Awesome. Okay. Legs are feeling fired up. Shoulders are feeling better. So we just did what we call linear aspects of shoulder mobility, overhead flexion and backwards extension. We're going to work on blending those 2 things together now. If your shoulders are just a little bit sore, take this really gentle. If you feel great, you're just going to proceed with me as much as you want to. We're going to do 10 repetitions there and back of a shoulder circle, but I want you to be really acutely aware that, again, you're not using excessive spine to do this. You're trying to move in your shoulders. And so your shoulder circle that we're about to do might not be as big or as glamorous as you think it would be when you're actually truly just isolating your shoulder by keeping the torso tight. So with me, let's bring arms up forwards, overhead. I like thumbs back, it's more challenging. I'm then going to turn my palms forwards, so I can't see that. I'm then going to span the arms out. I'm going to think about pulling my knuckles backwards behind me. I'm going to rotate the palms up like so. Relax to the hip, and then other direction. Pull up, rotate, pull up, thumbs back, and down. That's 1. We're doing 10. So thumbs back, palms forwards, hands reach out and backwards. Softly rotate, palms up to the ceiling, and reverse. So that's 2. We're doing 10. Hold very little tension in your shoulders specifically. Your shoulders are lax and loose, that will make sure that we're not putting too much torque through them. But you do have tension in your stomach because you're trying not to use your spine to compensate. I think I've said that 80 times now in this video, so you guys better be doing it great. This is the end of 4. Back up. Shoulders, traps are going to start to burn a little bit. They're going to get a little bit toasty. That's 5, or halfway of 5. 5. Just think about what your palms are doing. That can be the easiest cueing for you, which is palms are in, palms are forward, palms are out, palms rotate to the ceiling, palms are down. 6. Hang tight with me. Shoulders are our most mobile joint in the body, so we gotta use them. If we want them to maintain that mobility, which is what gives them health, we gotta move them a lot more than we probably think we do. This is 8, I believe. Trying to still keep that torso rigid. Here's 9. Last one. Thumbs up, thumbs back, palms forwards, palms span out, palms rotate to the ceiling, down and reverse. Really nice. Awesome. Hope you guys are feeling good after those. That was a lot of shoulder stuff. Again, if you have some creaky or achy shoulders, you probably want to take that a little bit more gently or use less range of motion. You can bend your elbows a little bit if you need to. Awesome. Okay, we're going to move to spine pretty soon, but what I want to do next is something that we haven't done too much together in these online classes, which is work on our rib cage through the medium of breathing. So let's think about what we just done together in the last 25 minutes. We've done a bunch of hip stuff, knee stuff, ankle stuff. Didn't really do any elbow or wrist today, but lots of shoulder and shoulder blade. What people don't really usually think about is lung expansion and the ability of your rib cage to move and pulse in and out, okay? Really important for shoulder health. If you're a runner, if you're someone who likes to work out in any kind of sense, we need great lung and rib cage pliability. So we're gonna do 10 reps here of a big breath in, trying to expand our rib cage up and out. Then we're gonna do a big exhale. On the last rep, you're gonna try and hold your inhale for 10 seconds. We're gonna exhale, and then you're gonna hold your exhale for 10 seconds. It'll make more sense when we get there, don't worry. So, big breath in. Forced big breath out, 2. You can accentuate the shoulders, that's a good thing, 3. Think about rib cage again, moving forwards and out, 4. 5, I'm really forcing through my nose, it's not just for the sound. 6, I'm really trying to get air in there. 7, rib cage up and out. 8. On this last one, you're going to take a big breath in, you're going to hold for 10 seconds, we're going to exhale, and then you're going to hold the exhaled state for 10 seconds. Here we go. 1, I'm going to count for you. 2, 3, because I can't do both. 4, 5, 6, 7, still holding, don't let anything in. 8 or out. 9, and now big exhale. And hold, no air in or out for 10 seconds. 9, full isometric here. 8, 7, 6, no breathing in or out. 5, feel that there's no movement. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, guys, so we're gonna do one last movement. I'm just gonna change the camera really quickly here. Boop. Whoa, that was a big quick. That was a big adjustment. We're gonna finish off the day with some active cat camel, cat cow, cat butterfly, cat dog. We're gonna do 5 repetitions, and we're gonna make each rep more intense than the last. So there's 2 positions. We're gonna have a rounded position and an extended position, excuse me. On the first rep, I want you to do those things with like 20% effort. Really gentle, really light. Second rep, we're gonna do 40%. We're gonna gently increase the intensity of how much we're rounding and how much we're extending. Third round, 60%. Fourth round, 80%, pretty tough. And then last round is gonna be 100%. Trying to maximally flex and round your spine, and then trying to maximally extend and arch your spine. Use your judgment. If you're not really sure how to do these movements, or if you haven't done them much, be gentle. It could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% for you. I'm doing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Watch the first rep if you need to. Yeah, camera looks good. So hands underneath my shoulders, knees underneath my hips. I'm gonna round, tuck my tailbone, tuck my chin to my chest, and 20% easy intensity rounding. Transition. 20% easy extension. Look up a little bit, but it's not stressful, it's not hard. Elbows are straight. You could talk here. Have a good time. Let's switch. 40%. So with a little bit more effort, I want you to push away from the floor. I want you to tuck your pelvis a little bit more, pull your belly button up and in. And I want you to bring your chin to your collarbone just a little bit harder. Transition. Elbows are straight, elbows do not bend. And pull your shoulder blades together now as you look up a little harder and as you arch your whole spine with a little bit more intensity. And switch. Third round. Starting to get intense. I'm going to reset my knees. I'm going to round here 60% intensity. Pushing away from the floor, elbows are straight, Hands got good pressure on the floor, tucking my tailbone, trying to press my upper back to the sky or the ceiling. Transition. On this one, without seeing any movement, I want you to think about pulling your knees and palms towards one another as you arch and look up, 60%. Transition, round 4, if you're feeling good, if you know what you're doing, 80%. So you're really gonna try and round your spine now. You're really gonna tuck that tailbone. You're really gonna press through the floor with your hands. You're gonna spread your shoulder blades. You're gonna tuck your chin to your chest. Relax for a second, take a breath, and now 80% extension. Really trying to extend to the upper, mid, lower back, pulling your head up to the ceiling, hold. Rest, last one, 100% intensity or less if you think that's appropriate. Show me what you can do. Show me your best cat-cow here. How much can you round your spine? Push away from the floor, spread the floor with your knees and your hands. Touch the ceiling with your mid, upper, lower back, and now transition. Last extension. Show me what you can do. Pull the head up as high as you can. Look through your sockets to the ceiling. Pull through that mid, lower back. And relax. Awesome. That was a lot of fun. Hope you guys feel good. Nice full body routine. If you want to relax a little bit, do some more breathing work, but a little bit more gentle. Pop and squat for a bit. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.